Perfect Turd Podcast, episode 193, Lamar, the man that killed Hitler, and Bigfoot.
The man who killed Hitler, then the Bigfoot. Okay, so we got to tell a little bit about like why we came across this movie. Like we were searching Tubi.
Yeah.
And then we saw this title, and
Title?
It's them titles.
And Sam Elliott.
Yes.
So we almost kind of had to review it.
Yeah, we were like, this is up our alley. Then we watched the movie.
Let's just get into it so we could.
So
we'll start with story. What did we think of the story?
Okay, so the story is it's that this man, he's an older gentleman, of course, Sam Elliott. He is the man who killed Hitler, even though, of course, we know how Hitler really died. Or do we know?
Well, we don't know.
But he's gotten old, and life hasn't gone too well for him afterwards. He kind of lives by himself. But then the government is like, oh, man, we have a problem in Canada, which is a problem I have with this movie. They recruit him to kill Bigfoot in Canada because apparently Bigfoot has been killing people all over the place.
Well, the thing about the title of this movie roped us in.
Yes.
It seemed like a wacky, like it was going to be a wacky movie or whatever. It was just kind of weird. It was almost like not awful, but it was like, is this what, it wasn't what I was expecting.
You know the movie Gran Torino?
Mm-hmm.
This movie has that type of tone. It's an old man that's kind of like he's feeling kind of left behind, and then he gets like, hey, Bigfoot, we need you to kill. It doesn't, it's tonally, it's weird. The
story is being told of him remembering the past. It's going back and forth between the two timelines. Yeah. And that section of the movie is almost like a drama. It really is. But it's a drama with these elements that are like kind of wacky and campy. And then it goes to the Bigfoot part, which was actually what I thought the majority of the movie was going to be. Because that was kind of fun.
Yes.
What do you give it?
I give it a half a point.
I agree.
It has an interesting premise. It just, for our purposes, it's kind of dry.
Yeah, I almost feel like the same story just told differently would have been fine.
Yes.
You know, just make it a little more fun.
Yes.
Anyways, let's move on. What do we think of the characters?
All right, so the main character, his name is Calvin Barr.
Sam Elliott. And his mustache.
Well, I mean, you can't have a movie with Sam Elliott without his mustache. That's almost like blasphemy. And then we noticed the guy, Larry Miller, plays his younger brother.
Yeah, I always envision him as like the douchey sales clerk or something. Because I've seen that guy in a lot of stuff.
He plays that part very well.
Yeah. While he's remembering his life, you know, he was in love with a woman at a certain point. So you had that. I would say nobody really stood out. And I feel like Sam Elliott was underused.
Yes.
I'll give it a half point because he was in it.
I give it a 0. Because this movie, I get it, but it wasn't what we were looking for.
Right, yeah. Well, the next category is the actions/fight scenes.
I guess, he does fight Bigfoot, but it's kind of sudden. Yeah, and here's my... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, to go off what you just said, it's like, because they waited to the very, very end of the movie just to throw that in.
Yes, that's the problem I have. It's like, hey, we have this beast that's out here killing and da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, we have to get Calvin Barr. It's like, so you don't have anybody with like technology, special forces, or anything like that.
The only thing I could say about the action and fight scenes is a little bit of stuff from when he was remembering about when he was young and he was doing the Nazis. One fight scene where Sam Elliott gets jumped and he fights off some thugs. And then at the very, very end, he fights Bigfoot. Though those things were great, there just wasn't enough. Like I said, the best fight scene, him fighting Bigfoot, was just right at the end. And it was like, oh, well, that's it. So I'll give it a half point.
Agreed. Half point. And then
the next category is what did we think of the monster, Bigfoot?
This did not look like Bigfoot. I'm sorry.
You know what it looked like?
Say it.
It looked well, I thought it looked like the the monkeys or whatever from the beginning of 2001.
Oh, I was gonna say it looked like the monkeys from Primeval. But I can agree with that more because here's the problem. Bigfoot doesn't look that big
No,
at
it's
all.
just a guy in like an ape suit, but not like a legit one like Harry and the Hendersons or something.
No, no.
He was agile, I'll give him
Yes, he was.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they couldn't find like a better Bigfoot costume somewhere, or not like the Jax Links commercial or whatever.
Like a leftover one or something, modify it.
Something.
Or a bigger
Yeah.
person.
Yeah. What do you give it?
I gave it a 0.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 0 too. It did kind of suck.
Yeah.
Well, Lamar, our last category. Now, this one's interesting because, the main character's still alive. There's potential that they can bring this character back to fight other mythical creatures or historical people or whatever. So, do you want to see it? And if so, who would you want him to go up against?
No.
Not at all.
This movie, no. And I don't know. Okay, maybe if I had to choose something, maybe Dracula or something. But
So
I mean,
he goes all the way to Transylvania.
well, I guess
can
that's
see
a
that.
job for Van Helsing. I don't know. Or a werewolf or something like that. Maybe.
What if you send him back in time to
Yeah.
fight some kind of like creature from like prehistoric era? I got it. What if you send them back in time because they're like they find him again? They're like, Hitler's still alive, and he's like, no, but wait, I killed Hitler. It's like, nope, that was one of his stand-ins or whatever. They knew our plot. He's still alive. We got to send you back in time to do the job again, because or something like this.
I mean, all right, okay. You got me on that one. You're gonna send him back to kill Hitler again. So then, how would they name this one? The Man Who Killed Hitler Again?
Again, they just put it in there.
All right, it'll be like Taken, but in World War II.
Or do we have to pair it up with another creature too? The man that killed Hitler again and a werewolf.
Ooh.
And the Wolfman or something.
And that's like the experimentation of like Nazi werewolves or something like that.
See? Time travel always prevails, Lamar.
Yeah.
So what do you give it for actual? What's your actual rating for sequel?
0.
I'm going to give it 1/2 of a point. I
Good
wouldn't
for
mind
you.
seeing it again if they had a better premise or whatever.
And pacing? Good Lord.
Yeah. Well, Lamar, we've tallied the score, and this movie gets a 1.5 out of 5.
I was expecting more.
Yeah.
Maybe he was like an actual grandpa, but nobody knows he kills Hitler. And so like he's like, Grandpa, why do you have to leave us? I have to go back. I need to kill Sasquatch. Something
What
like
happens if
that.
he like accidentally kills like Santa Claus or something?
That would
Then
be
he'd have to
the
send
hell,
him
yeah.
back in time to undo what his younger self did.
Wait, how did he kill Santa Claus as a younger person?
In
What
the
is he
past, he kills Santa Claus by accident, and then now, because of all the trouble that caused, as an old man, he has to go back in time to stop his younger self from doing the assassination. The man that killed Hitler and Santa. Anyways, does that wrap this up then?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. The Man Who Killed Hitler and the Bigfoot. Peace.
Deuces.